Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. I am Lucy Ora on Daybreak Africa, and welcome to this edition of Daybreak Africa, reaching you live from Television Nigeria, Guzape Hills, Abuja, the television with the trending news on politics, entertainment, sports, and lots more. And with me this morning is my co-host.
I remain yours faithfully, Charles Ibe, and it's a lovely day to be alive. It's a lovely day to be in the nation's capital, Abuja. The weather is friendly. Everything is working together for good to ensure that we have a lovely week. I wish you a lovely week ahead, Africa, a lovely week ahead, Nigeria. And like Lucy did say, this is a platform where you get the very best of all you need to set the tone for the rest of the day.
Our viewers at home, we have a lot of trending news coming up. We have loads and loads of news making headlines. But before that, we'll go straight to the AM news where my co-host will be giving us all the headlines for this week. Stay with us.
Okay, come on, bring this thing, please.
Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence.
Bungee. Here is the AM news on Daybreak Africa. And we'll start with reports just reaching us from Ondo State that the governor's office in Akure, the state capital, is currently under siege by youths from Ilaje local government area of the state. According to the youths, they are protesting the alleged diversion of funds made for the local government by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu-led administration. The youths have barricaded the two gates to the governor's office at Alabaka, GRA of the state capital, preventing workers from getting access into the complex. They also insisted that the governor must attend to them and as well address the situation before they allow anyone into the premises. The police are reportedly at the venue trying to ensure that the situation doesn't go out of hand, as well as ensure free flow of traffic. President Muhammadu Buhari has extended his condolences to states of Zamfara and Sokoto, where recent bandits' attack left several citizens dead. No less than 34 were reportedly killed in Zamfara, while over 20 lost their lives in Sokoto in attacks that happened within the space of 1 week. The president's reaction was contained in a statement released by the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, on Sunday night. The president has assured of his administration's full commitment to protect life and property of citizens, as he revealed that his administration is working with state governments in northwest of the country to revamp security structures and operations following infiltrations by bandits. The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) has commended the European Union on its final report on the 2019 general elections. The party made the commendation in a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary, Kola Olobodiyan, on Sunday in Abuja, while lauding the union for stating the facts of the elections. Olobodiyan stated that the revelations in the EU report further vindicated the position of PDP and millions of Nigerians on the elections, noting that the disclosure of manipulations as detailed in the EU report further validates queries by a majority of Nigerians on the elections. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano has ordered the State Anti-Corruption Commission to probe the claims by the Kano Zoological Gardens that a gorilla in the state-owned zoo swallowed 6.8 million naira. The order was given by a governor in Kano over the weekend, and the commissioner swung into action immediately after the issuance of the order. The governor further asked the commission to look into the immediate and remote cause of the allegations, directing them to unearth everything surrounding the incident. Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai has created a Ministry for Internal Security, as well as 2 other new ministries, and abolished 3 others, while announcing a new governance structure for his second-term administration. In a statement by his spokesman Samuel Arua in Kaduna on Saturday, the governor has signed an executive order creating 2 new ministries, abolishing 3 others, and amending the mandates of 3 others, noting that the restructuring does not increase the number of ministries beyond the 14 that existed in his first term. The order abolishes the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Tourism, the Ministry of Rural and Community Development, and the Ministry of Water Resources, and amended the mandates of the ministries ministries responsible for local government, women and social development, works and sports. The newly created ministries are Business, Innovation and Technology, which will coordinate the development of skills, business, trade, and manufacturing in the state, which also takes over the technology portfolio from the Ministry of Education and is expected to encourage the development of digital ecosystem in the state. Former Nigerian Vice President and People's Democratic Party's presidential candidate in the 2019 general elections, Atiku Abubakar, has denied threatening to lead a massive protest over claims by the Independent National Electoral Commission that it did not transmit the results of the 2019 general elections to a dedicated server. Contrary to a Twitter handle claiming to be that of People's Democratic Support Group, which quoted the former vice president as saying that he will lead a massive protest over the INEC server issue currently before the Presidential Election Tribunal, Atiku on Sunday morning insisted he never made such comments and dismissed the said tweet as fake and the handiwork of mischief makers. Abubakar and the PDP had filed an application seeking access to inspect the server and data of smart card readers used by the electoral body in the conduct of the elections, alleging that the INEC chairman committed grave errors in the final collation exercise, while counsel to INEC, Yunus Usman, vehemently opposed the application for the inspection of the server, stating that INEC does not have a server and did not transmit any results through a server. The Supreme Court will today, Monday, June 17, deliver the final judgment in an appeal filed by Senator Ademola Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), challenging the declaration of Boyega Oyetola of All Progressive Congress (APC) as governor of Osun State. Adeleke and the PDP took the case to the Supreme Court after the Court of Appeal on May 9th overturned the verdict of the Osun State Elections Petitions Tribunal, which declared Senator Adeleke winner of governorship election, while the 5-member panel of justices, which was presided by Justice Jumei Sankey, also upheld 10 out of the 12 issues raised by Governor Oyetola that the tribunal lacked the jurisdiction to entertain some of the grounds of the petition brought by Adeleke. Adeleke and his party PDP are asking the Supreme Court to set aside the appeal court's judgment, which is in favor of Governor Oyetola, and also contended that the appeal court erred in law when it upheld the appeals by APC and INEC, challenging the decision of the tribunal. They further contended that the appellate court erred when it dismissed its cross appeal, where it challenged the improper ballot counting, which cost the PDP 3,402 and 379 votes in 23 polling units. Adeleke and the PDP are seeking a declaration that they won the September 22nd, 2018 governorship elections by a wider margin than what was found at the tribunal in view of what they called the substantial non-compliance with Electoral Act 2010 as amended. The Nigerian Army says it has begun proceedings to court-martial 14 officers and soldiers accused of murder, kidnap, and desertion, among other criminal offenses. Inaugurating the court proceedings in Port Harcourt, General Officer Commanding Army 6th Division, Port Harcourt, Major General Jamil Saham, while confirming the affected soldiers, said the General Court Martial was convened in compliance to Section 131 of the Armed Forces Act, guiding professional conduct of the nation's military. He further stated that the Army has zero tolerance for indiscipline, adding that it will never shield any personnel, no matter how highly placed, from the law, while stressing that the trial was not only aimed at prosecuting the suspect, but to discourage others from indulging in criminality. Saham urged the 7-man court-martial panel, led by its president, Brigadier General Bassi Etuk, to ensure that the accused persons are given fair trial, while the affected soldiers includes 3 officers and 11 soldiers, including a major, 2 captains, 2 staff sergeants, and 1 sergeant, among other ranks. Erstwhile Chelsea coach Maurizio Sarri has left his role as Chelsea manager and joined Serie A champions Juventus to replace fellow Italian Massimiliano Allegri, who left Juventus at the end of the season. Sarri, who joined the Blues from Napoli in July 2018, led them to third in Premier League and won the Europa League in his 1 season in charge, while a compensation fee in excess of $5 million has been agreed between the 2 clubs for the 60-year-old. Sarri signed a 3-year deal just last July, but becomes the 9th full-time manager to leave Chelsea under Roman Abramovich, who brought the club in 2003, while the North London club is unable to sign any players after being given a 2-window transfer ban by the world governing body FIFA, a decision they are currently appealing against at the Court of Arbitration for Sports. That's the AM News on Daybreak Africa. Up next is an update on weather situations around Nigeria. Stay tuned. Money. It appears to be a trend now in Nigeria.
You know, at some point I actually thought it's a comedy. I didn't know it was real until I started hearing the news all over it was all over that the gorilla swallowed 6 million.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a comic relief, but for the fact that These are monies that are meant for development, that are supposed to affect the lives of people and turn a lot of situations around. But to say a gorilla swallowed millions, I mean, it leaves a lot to be desired. And
Because
how did
actually,
the
6
gorilla
million
get
is a
access?
lot of money,
Yes.
even in weight. So for gorilla to swallow it, I'm wondering, can they scan the gorilla's tummy to find out if...
Well, maybe they have to do that because the government has given them order to do whatever, find out the situations and recover that money. I mean, that gorilla must vomit that money, whatever. In fact, I also bring to mind the issue of the 36 million that was swallowed by a snake in Jambo office, I think in Benue State. And after all said and done, I don't think we've had the last of that.
I think they're still in court. I think they've taken them to court, actually, for that,
Well,
But it looks like the country, really, we tend to bring up topics that are really, unfounded.
In fact, I don't know how to place it actually, but I think people need to do the right thing, and I mean they should investigate all these cases and get to the roots of it. It's about time Nigerians start getting to know really what is happening. What is this about snakes swallowing money, gorilla swallowing, and animals actually taking part in our governance now?
Exactly.
I don't know how. The other time
and where did you even keep the money for the gorilla to get access to it?
Those are questions that are begging for answers. Please, and let's just believe somebody is not trying to play pranks. If you ask me, although my opinion, I don't know if it should matter in this. I think somebody is trying to. Maybe there's an inquiry somewhere, and someone is trying to, because if you say it's a gorilla, which gorilla? You understand?
Exactly.
That's just write it off as the money is gone. That's what they're trying to tell us. The money is gone. So whoever is in charge
of that money. But for gorilla to take money, is it not dangerous to the health? Is the gorilla meant to be alive?
Well, I'm not an animal scientist or specialist. Or maybe we'll have to invite one of these animal zoologists to tell us more.
To actually talk about this, because it seems like animals are beginning to do a whole lot of things that humans can't.
Really, it's not funny, but it's happening. And let's hope the Kano government gets to the bottom of this. And please, they should recover that money. Please. It's very, very important for development to go on, for governance to go on. Right now, we'll be going across Africa to give you updates on what is happening in our sister African states. News across Africa up next. Welcome to News Across Africa in brief on Daybreak Africa. Tanzania's health minister on Sunday issued an Ebola alert after the disease, which has killed over 1,400 people in the Democratic Republic of Congo, appeared in their shared neighbor, Uganda. The Ugandan health minister, Umi Mwalimu, said the alert was necessary given the frequent interactions between the Tanzanian and Ugandan people through the official borders or by other unofficial channels. The minister stated that Tanzania's northwestern Kagera, Mwanza, and Kigoma regions were most at risk, and further expressed the fear that the entire country might be in danger, given that the disease transmits very easily and very quickly from one person to another. Paramedics in South Africa on Sunday stated that at least 32 people have been injured in reported road accidents in the Free State and KwaZulu-Natal involving minibus taxis since the start of the long weekend. 14 people were injured on Friday afternoon when the minibus taxi they were traveling in overturned on Aliwal Street in Bloemfontein. Medics assessed the patients and found that 14 people had sustained minor to moderate injuries, while no serious injuries or fatalities were found. The injured people were treated and then transported to several provincial hospitals for further care. Sudan's ex-president Omar al-Bashir was charged with corruption-related offenses on Sunday as he appeared in public for the first time since he was overthrown in April. Wearing traditional white robes and turban, he was driven to the prosecutor's office in Khartoum and walked briskly from the vehicle into the building, smiling and speaking with the guards escorting him. The former leader is accused of possessing foreign currency and accepting gifts in an unofficial manner after the military overthrew and detained him on April 11 after 16 weeks of street protests against his 30-year-old rule. Ethiopians are angry that the country's text messaging services has been shut down since Thursday without any explanation. An internet blackout which began last Tuesday are also still affecting many areas of the country. The state-run Ethio Telecom, the country's only telecoms provider, has refused to comment on the outages, while the closure of the services coincides with the nationwide examinations, which some say might be the reason for the shutdown. Reports from the capital, Addis Ababa, says there are speculations the measures are aimed at trying to stop students cheating, as the messaging app Telegram, which is popular among young Ethiopians, also remains inaccessible. At least 8 Kenyan police officers have died after their car carrying 11 persons hit a roadside bomb in East Wajir County near Somali borders. The fate of the remaining 3 is unclear, while no one has admitted to planting the explosives. Unnamed officials told news reporters that the police has been pursuing suspected Al-Shabaab Islamist militants fighting Somali's government and its backers, including Kenya. In a separate incident, at least 8 people were killed by a bomb which exploded at a checkpoint near Somalia's parliament in Mogadishu, while Al-Shabaab claimed it carried out the attack, and another one on a road leading to the city's airport in which nobody died. That's the news across Africa. Thanks for watching. Daybreak Africa continues in a moment.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Daybreak Africa, reaching you live from Television Nigeria, Guzope Hills, Abuja. While we're talking about gorilla eating eating money now, we are going to be talking about healthy living, the things and the importance of breakfast. Stay with us while Lillian gives us that update.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Healthy Living. I am Lillian Ambis. Today I'll be talking on the importance of breakfast. Breakfast is the first meal of the day, usually eaten in the morning. Breakfast provides the body and brain with strength after an overnight fast. 5 reasons why you should eat breakfast. Starting your morning with breakfast will boost your metabolism and keep your body sugar levels stable during the day. A morning meal helps energize your body, keeping you active and productive until lunch. A nutritious breakfast reduces rates of overreacting and craving later in the day. Eating breakfast has been associated with a lower incidence of heart diseases. A morning meal is necessary not only for your body, but for the brain as well. Eating a nutritious breakfast helps improve your concentration and productivity. Many thanks for watching today's episode. I still remain Lillian Ambi. If you've not had your breakfast, make sure you do so.
Back. Thank you very much, Lillian, for that bit on breakfast. Let me ask, have you taken breakfast today?
I'm not actually, but just like Lillian said, I need to start taking my breakfast.
I mean, it's most of us, most people just leave the house in a hurry to beat traffic, to get to work on time.
That's
and then
true.
Skip that very important meal for the day. For some people, once they have breakfast, the rest of the day is just smooth sailing, and they won't have to
That's
bother
true.
about
I've had a couple of that. Anytime I have breakfast, it seems like I really am okay for the day.
Yes.
And it gets me energetic. It gets me, I have things to do up and running about compared to the days I don't have breakfast.
Yeah, like the name says, breakfast. There's a fast between the last time you
went
took
to
your
bed.
dinner went to bed a long time between, probably depends on when people take dinner this time. Maybe Lillian, I have to do something on that. You're supposed to eat late, at least by 7 p.m. You're supposed to have had your dinner. Between 7 p.m. and the next morning, that's a long period of time. So that fast that your body is fasting, then in the morning you're supposed to break that fast and give the body something. I mean, it sets the tone for every other thing you have to do for the day. But then there's been a concern that some people, when they take breakfast, they get to the office, they start dozing, and then they sleep.
Of course, I'm sure it's for the people who don't take light food for breakfast, because I think breakfast is actually meant to be light. But I can bet you some of us eat apple in the breakfast in the morning.
Well, it depends on the economy, where whoever
what you can afford,
and all of that. Tea, coffee, and all of that.
But usually apple is not cheap. It's not like it comes cheap.
It's not really cheap, but it's more. It's closer to the people. Let's say it's closer to the people. You can easily reach out and grab your gari, or reach out and grab
do your thing and to get done.
All right, thank you very much, Lina, once again. Now up next, we'll have entertainment gist with our gossip queen, Priscilla Ajeshola. She's always coming up handy with what's happening with the world of celebrities. They're always up to something. They're doing one thing or the other.
I can bet you that's one of the favorite of all the young people's, our viewers at home. I'm sure this part is their favorite.
Yeah.
So let's go to Lillian and see what she has for us. Stay with us.
Please tell that newsman to come here.
Welcome to Entertainment News on Television Nigeria. I'm Priscilla Ajeshola. Let's get into the news. Diddy congratulates his ex on her pregnancy. Cassie, Diddy's ex, started dating Alex Fine, a fitness trainer, following the end of her decade-long relationship with rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The couple met after Diddy hired Fine to be Cassie's personal trainer, but the pair ended up sleeping with each other and then went public with their romance in December 2018. Diddy has once again proven that there is no hard feelings between him, his ex-girlfriend Cassie, and her new boyfriend Alex Fine. The rap mogul took to his Instagram page to congratulate the pair, who recently announced that they are expecting their first child, a baby girl. He shared a loved-up photo of the couple and wrote, "Congratulations at Cassie and Alex. I wish you all nothing but love and happiness. God bless. LOVE." Yes, Diddy congratulated the pair, and we're very happy that he is being mature about this whole situation. Now to our next story. Embattled singer Naira Marley has regained his freedom. The singer, who has since fulfilled his bail conditions, was released on June 14th. The singer, who was arrested on May 10 by the EFCC, was arraigned in court on grounds of allegedly committing cybercrimes. Naira Marley was granted bail by the court on May 30th and was released from the Ikoyi prison on June 14th after fulfilling his bail conditions. To our next story, Rugged Man attacked in London. Veteran Nigerian rapper Michael Oguchukwu, better known as Rugged Man, was attacked at a restaurant in London, the United Kingdom, on Friday night. The rapper, who is in London for a show, was having dinner at a fast food named 825 restaurant when he was accosted by a group of 4 boys wearing a hoodie. In a video circulating online, the rapper could be seen trying to protect himself while his attackers made use of chairs and objects around to hit him. Rugged Man, in the midst of the scuffle, found a way to escape out of the restaurant as his attackers continued chasing him. A few hours later, Rugged Man took his official Instagram handle to confirm the incident, saying he won't stop in fighting for the youth. He also thanked the London Police Department for their prompt action. Being attacked by 4 misguided boys will not deter me from fighting for the youth, even though they blindly fight me, he wrote. Alongside a picture of him and a London police officer, Nigerians are reacting to the news of his attack on social media. Rugged Man has had a brawl on social media with Naira Marley over his comments on cybercrime in the past. Now to our next story. Edith Gonzalez, telenovela star, dies of ovarian cancer. Mexican telenovela star Edith Gonzalez is dead. She died on Thursday at the age of 54, 3 years after she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Her death was confirmed by the official Mexican news agency Notimex and the TV stations for which she worked, Televisa and TV Exdaca. The actress revealed in August 2016 that doctors discovered cancerous tissue in her abdomen. Her cancer entered remission in 2017 but returned sometime this year. She is survived by her husband, Lorenzo Lazo, and 14-year-old daughter, Constanza. Best known for her role in the soap Salome, Gonzalez continued to work up until her death, most recently as a judge on the Mexican reality show This Is My Cell. After she was diagnosed with cancer in 2016, she constantly spoke about her treatment and the subsequent hair loss. She appeared on magazine covers, shared encouraging messages on social media, and took speaking engagements to address cancer prevention. Yes, this is definitely a sad story, and we share our condolences to the family and all of her fans. Now to our next story. MC Galaxy gives 3 million naira to Ubi Franklin. Singer MC Galaxy has paid forward a good deed music executive Ubi Franklin did for him so many years ago. The singer shared on Instagram a written check of 3 million naira in Ubi's name and explained why he was gifting the music executive such a huge sum of money. He wrote, "This life is funny. 7 years ago, I needed help to pay my house rent. The total I needed was 350k, so I asked a lot of people for help, and no one could help me. So one of those days, I went to Ubi Franklin's house told him I needed help with rent, and he gave me 100k and clothes, and I was able to hustle money to add and pay my rent. Because at the time, 100k then meant a lot to me. It was 10 million naira to me. So every time I had a new song to drop, I'll go to him and play for him. I go Calabar to second etc. So I know I cannot pay him back for the favors and values, but this is a token of appreciation to say thank you for everything. At to be Franklin Triple MG." To our next story, guys. Gorilla swallows money. A big gorilla in the Kano Zoological Gardens has reportedly swallowed 6.8 million naira meant for the operations of the zoo. The money was generated from tourists who visited the zoo during the Eid celebrations. On Monday, June 10th, when workers resumed work, it was discovered that the money was nowhere to be found. A local radio station in the state, Freedom Radio, had reported on Thursday, June 13th, that one of the finance officers said that a huge gorilla sneaked into their office and allegedly swallowed close to 7 million naira. Confirming the loss of the money, the managing director of the zoo, Umar Kashir Kobo, said indeed there was money missing in the organization, but he would rather not say anything about it as the matter was under investigation. The issue is under investigations for now, and I don't want to say anything concerning the matter. Many journalists have met me on the issue, but I don't want to say anything. All I can say is that the money got missing. Commenting on the matter, the spokesman in the State Police Command, DSP Abdullahi Haruna, said the matter was under investigation. Yes, it is true that the money got missing from the Kano Zoo. It is money they realized from 5 days of Salah festivities. As of now, we have arrested 10 staff members of the zoo and they are in police custody. Among the people we arrested are the gate man and the police in the finance unit. What we want to understand is why they left such huge amounts of money for 5 days without taking it to the bank. Aruna said this case is no different from the one that happened in February 2018 when one Philomena Chase Shea, a sales clerk for the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board (JAMB) in Benue State, had claimed that a huge snake swallowed 36 million naira, which the board made from sales of scratch card. These stories are definitely coming up a lot in the news. I hope we find more clarity about it. Now let's get to the next story. Regina Daniels gushes about husband, Hollywood actress Regina Daniels, now 20, has finally confirmed she is married to 59-year-old billionaire Ned Omoko. The former child actress, who is said to be the sixth wife of Ned, who is a Muslim, confirmed the marriage during a question and answer session on her YouTube page, Regina Daniels TV. She swapped her wedding ring finger and said she's married when they asked her about her relationship status. This is the first time the actress is publicly acknowledging her marriage to the billionaire. The traditional wedding between the pair took place in Delta State last month, just days after she was initiated into the married women's group in Anoima. Nollywood actress Regina Daniels, 20, who further acknowledged her marriage to 59-year-old billionaire politician Ned Ugo, has taken to her Instagram page to flaunt her love for him. She took to her Instagram story to share a cute photo of husband and gushed over it with love and emojis. We have come to the end of entertainment news on television Nigeria, but not to worry, I'll see you on another episode. Goodbye.
Wow! Television Nigeria sparkling around the whole world. Welcome to Television Nigeria, the #1 fast-growing satellite TV based in the heart of Abuja, transmitting on the free-to-air bouquet online concert platform. Television Nigeria, the home of movies, documentaries, music, birthday parties, entertainment, events, and many more. You can reach us at Television House opposite White House Mansion, Guzape area, Abuja, or visit us at www.tvn.com or call us on 080-9153-5054. Television Nigeria, the #1 choice of the whole world.
fashion is life.
And so is music.
Ladies!
If not play, make you stop, Papa, I know they take. I want me to do it. One emoji for Shoko.
And all the movies you can watch basically.
Walks through walls and stuff.
So watch us. Follow us.
Connect with us. Television Nigeria.
Hang with the gang.
Part of the fan.
On Flex Arena. It's entertainment. On our Bliss.
Flip.
Africa. Now is the time that will take you to the newspapers to find out what they are trending with. What news is making the papers this morning? You know, it's always a pleasure visiting newspapers because there's always lots and lots of things happening.
Definitely.
And our newsman, Mr. Victor Sehemba, always on point when it comes to news.
Good morning, Mr. Charles.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lucy. All right, and just like you rightly said, a lot has been happening between Sunday and today, and it has been captured by the newspapers in various ways. And I have here, basically, we should just kick off our review from the pilot, the Nigerian pilot. And the screaming headline here at the front page is $16 billion power project, FG props OBJ, set to invite major companies suspect. Elumelu may serve as PW1, that's on prosecution witness 1, and that is quite huge anyway. If the Hotel Elumelu will come in as a PW1, and that story is on page 8. Just below the masthead, you have ICIR fought INEC on server, insists NAS appropriated over 2 billion naira for it. The saga continues, and that is on page 6 of today's pilot. Oshun Guba, Supreme Court hears Adeleke's appeal today. That was just as it was rightly said earlier on the AN News. And below the picture story here, you have Atiku denies alleged plot to protest over INEC server, and that story is on page 7. Road crashes drop, says the Federal Road Safety Corps, and that's quite an interesting and good news after all. And that story is also on page 8. Consulate to protest killings of Nigerians in South Africa. That's from the Nigerian envoy, and that story is on page 5. NAS leadership, Buhari not Oshomole behind APC's success. Okay, and that is an expose, and that story is on page 9 of the Nigerian pilot. Akeredolu blasts Benin Electricity Distribution Company for poor services, and that is on page 11. And then the EU report on 2019 polls vindicates us. That is PDP backing the EU polls, and that is all major stories that we have on the front page of today's Nigerian pilot.
Yeah, the EU report. I don't know this controversy about Sava and all of that. Did it touch anything? And did it make any?
No. I think they left that one out of their report.
But why should they? They should tell us whether, as a monitoring, union, they saw servers or they had access to the server at any point in time.
The servers are not something ordinary people can say. It is an INEX property. So what they were meant to do was just observe the proceedings of the election, how it went.
Well, see, this report was coming. It was kind of timely because there's a tribunal, and APC, no, not really APC. The INEC had said we did not use any server. But then don't forget that before the elections, the electoral body had to address the press at several points in time, which included foreign observers. EU observers were there, and they did mention at some point that they were going to be using server. They were going to do electronic transmission and all of that. So at what point did they back out to now say we did not use any server? Perhaps maybe the EU might have just laid this to rest.
Because I could remember even on Sunday, the election was on Saturday. On Sunday, at some point, they said that the INEC server was down.
Exactly.
So that was what delayed the
Delayed most of
collation of the
this.
results
Yeah.
and
See,
all that.
it is just like I keep saying, Nigeria is a mystery that we cannot understand. Because even even the presence of this saga, we've had videos of INEC officials coming out to say they are going to transmit results to their server. And then at the same time, we are having where the
We're
same
hearing
INEC as saying
out
they don't have
Categorically that they didn't use any
the
server.
server. So
Well,
we'll leave that.
So
and go on.
moving now to leadership, let's find out what leadership is leading with this morning. Their major screaming headline is "Our Stand," the president's speech. I think they are taking a position on the president's speech on Democracy Day, June 12th, where the president spoke a lot about plans for Nigeria, and a lot of issues have been following that speech. People say that people are applauding the speech. Some people are saying, well, not detailed enough. We didn't really give us a blueprint of how we are going to take Nigeria forward to the next level. But that's on page 3. You'll find details on the stance of the leadership on the president's speech. While directly above the major headline there, just an insect box, bank employees. Banks employ more contract staff to save cost. Well, I think Labour is going to have an issue with this one. But find out the details on page 26. And just directly below the masthead, you have INEC to deregister commercial political parties, with the rider tackles PDP over comment on EU report. Well, you should be getting more details on that on page 4. Under the just down the paper, go down the insect boxes, you have CBN opens 200 billion export facility for cash crops farmers. Well, good news for farmers, good news for agriculture. The details are on page 27. Why KB Assembly rejected Chief Justice, that's CJs, that's the Speaker of the KB Assembly. Find out why they rejected the Chief Justice, and the details are on page 2. We won't issue certificates twice, INEC once. Wow, who wants another certificate after getting one? Well, you should go and find out more why INEC is giving out this warning on page 2. And finally, we have Oshun Guba, anxiety as Supreme Court gives verdict, on page 4. I think people in Oshun State right now, both the governor, both the PDP, I don't think it's the best time for them. Because their temperature right now is going to be so high. Because once the Supreme Court says that's final,
yes,
the only other place they can take it to is to God.
Maybe Lucy, help us with the next paper.
Okay, the next paper we have, I have The Nation here.
Okay.
Okay, and the streaming headline said EU reports sparks fresh APC PDP spat over INEC server. Article, I have no problem to protect the tribunal's ruling. That is continued on page 8. And we have 431 debtors owe AMCON between 1 billion and 10 billion. Wow, that's a whole lot. Police battle bandits, kidnappers. That's continued on page 6. And we have YKB Assembly rejected Chief Justice. That you can find out on page 42. We won't reissue certificates, says WAEC. Oh, okay. I think it was WAEC then we're talking about. I think it was WAEC, and it continued on page 7. Primary Kogi APC members biker. That's continued on page 42. What else do we have here? I think CBN Health Adeye's agri policy. That's continued on page 11. And Ganduje orders probe of swallowed 6.8 million. That's continued on page 42. That brings us to what we have on the headlines this morning to about the swallowing of the gorilla swallowing the 6.8 million.
But I think INEC needs to make this their new policy clear for us to understand. If they say they're not going to issue certificates twice,
I think it's
WAEC.
WAEC are not going to issue certificates twice.
Yeah.
And so, what in the case you use a document through fire, stolen?
Exactly, and you have proof.
Whatever. Yes.
And then you have a court affidavit.
And then
So they won't issue another certificate.
When we
In that way,
get
that
to the
keeps-
details, we might actually have why they are taking that stand.
Anyway, let me just move on and let's look at today's punch. I know the punch here has a different headline totally, saying something else entirely that will interest or worry us at the same time. And the major headline, the screaming headline here: public secondary schools turned into hideouts by hoodlums as facilities rot. Government has abandoned school monitoring. That is the NUT speaking, and this story is fully developed on page 2 of today's Punch. And at the picture story there, you have various pictures of various schools within Lagos, Ogun, Osun, and different states like that, in a very pitiful state, basically. And just below the picture today, you have power distribution firms, old transmission company, 231 billion naira, and that story is on page 40. Suspected herdsmen attack commercial bus, abduct 3 women in Enugu, and that story is on page 20 of today's Punch. Criminal stabbed photographer to death, injured fisherman in Lagos, and that story is on pages 4 and 5. Above the masthead there, you have NCDC conducts risk assessment on Ebola, and that story is on page 14. And just beside that story, also above the masthead, you have editorial, June 12, Punch's triumph in 25-year legal battle. And that is what the Punch has for us this morning on the front page.
Yeah, well, the major headline is it's really a matter of concern. The public schools in Nigeria. We've had this issue. I think was it the last administration did something about safe school initiative. We've had a lot of, I think, on the heels of the abduction of Chibok girls and all of that. Yeah. We had this safe school initiative where they put in a lot of security to ensure that students actually school in safe environments. But now this report coming up, does it mean that initiative has been jettisoned? So that for hoodlums to have access into our public schools. It's something that's quite worrisome, because you can imagine what goes on, what these hoodlums do when the schools are closed.
I guess what happens is usually when they have abandoned schools, where the government hasn't gone to, reconstruct and all that, because a lot of abandoned schools across the country actually.
But not really, but most of those schools is dilapidated structures.
Dilapidated one.
You don't have fence.
They don't have fence.
They don't some
the
buildings.
Basic structures are not there to make it look like this is a school.
Well, that's a lot of concern, because if some of them don't have things, how are the students safe?
They are not fenced. Some of the schools don't, no windows, no doors. So the students go.
So if you look at
take over.
If you look at one of the pictures there, a school in this River State, you see the student sitting on the floor. Why? So which means they don't have chairs, they don't have desks, whatever, and they're just sitting on the floor. But one other thing here that also caught my attention is power distribution firms, old transmission company, 231 billion naira. Now this is an issue that has lingered for long and has actually contributed immensely to our low supply of power in the country. So the thing is, the Nigerian generation company, power generation company, generates more power than the discos can actually distribute. And then the discos distribute this transmission company distributes for the discos. Now they owe this transmission company, which sometimes the transmission company refuses to actually distribute and then the discos, how do they want to make their money? That is where they are slow in supplying meters so that they can give estimated billings, which is sometimes 10 times more.
But then I don't think there's any cause for them to. That's personally, if you ask me. They make a whole lot of money from this unmetered bills. People, they just bill people, and people pay. A lot of people pay.
Actually, I think previously the current speaker, Femi Bajabiamila, actually passed, I think he came in with something in such a way that if you don't provide prepaid meters to a certain period, you're not meant to charge the customers.
Well, do they follow all of that? It still happens. A lot of
So
places.
the thing is usually we have laws, we have policies.
Yes,
Implementation is always
That's the
the
thing.
issue.
Monitoring as well is an issue.
And in fact,
Implementation, then monitor. Who monitors what actually happens?
I think we have the NERC.
But how much do they monitor? In fact, I was privileged to attend one of the town hall meetings where they said a lot of things. In fact, going by neck, what the guidelines, the policies they have, consumers are supposed to be like
The king.
enjoying. But it doesn't happen, and you find out these guys carrying a ladder, come to your area and start chopping up the wires, and we're in the dark for a long time. People put their monies together, and then it's still the same
thing.
Story. Well, let's move over now to the blueprint. Find out where they are printing in blue or black or red. They have the major headline here: anxiety as INEC moves to act dormant political parties. With the rider, rejects parties as platform for hire. Its violation of agreement, SMSP scribe. Another rider says the United Nations undermining our democracy. That's IPAC. IPAC kicking against the... Well, you can find the details of all of this on page 6 of the blueprint. And now directly under the major headline and black insect post there, Elumelu Foundation to empower 1,000 youths. Find out details of how, where, and all you need to know on page 33. Then Soho Olape Rogun in race for Federal High Court Chief Justice as Kafarati bows out. Then it goes with the rider, FJSC nominates 2 judges to NJC. SANS express optimism over succession plan. Well, moving on, we will fast track Islamic finance in Nigeria. That's the Nigerian Stock Exchange, NSE. Get the details there on page 33. Certificate alteration, reason for rejecting Karatu as KB Chief Justice, the Speaker. You know that there was a recent allegation that the Speaker refused to recognize or confirm Karatu because she's a Christian. It was trending in the news, and then the Speaker came out to say, no, it wasn't based on religion or politics. At one point, they said she was fraternizing with politicians, and then she's saying it's because of religion. Now the Speaker is coming out to say, no, it's certificate alteration. But we can get a lot more of that on page 23. Now we have a picture story there, where you have the Federal Chancellor of Federal University Doshima, Professor Adamu Chama Babakutiji, representative of the visitor President Muhammadu Buhari, former Kano Deputy Governor Professor Hafiz Abubakar. I think at the 4th convocation of the Federal University Dusima in Katsina State, an event that happened on Saturday. So that's the picture story there. Below this picture story, we have committee summons ex-Gombe Governor Dan Kwambo over assets. Former Governor Dan Kwambo there, feeling the heat. Find out more details on page 8. Below that, we have ECOWAS fixes 2020 for single currency for West African states. That will be interesting. Page 34. 8 million out of school kids in 10 states and Abuja. That's a report by UNICEF. Find out details on page 7. 40-year-old man arrested for defiling 7-year-old. That's terrible. And find out on page 5. And EU position on 2019 vindicates us, PDP saying that, with the rider, so with APC. That's the Von DG. Get the details of all of that on page 14. Now, single currency for ECOWAS. How does that make it better for
the West African?
Yeah, we're trying to go in
I think
follow the EU, Euro, something.
Yeah, I think it just makes trade easier. So I don't have if I can have the single currency here and I move to
Ghana or
wherever, I can still spend money without thinking about worrying about doing exchange
yeah.
to convert currency. But then again,
so does it reduce what about the value? The value of the money, is it the same across board?
Is it the same across board?
It
has to be.
It's just the same across, but whatever you can get with whatever they're going to call the currency, you can get here in Nigeria. When you move to Ghana, you can still get the same quantity for
Okay,
the same
so I
amount.
can get a loaf of bread for 200, whatever the name is in Nigeria, and then go to Ghana and still
And
get
get
it at the
the
same
loaf for
price.
Yes,
200.
yes.
Oh, it makes a lot of
and
sense.
it's going to be more valuable than the local currency.
But I
It's-
think
it's
all
some
the-
countries
these smaller countries are going to be overjoyed with this because,
Of course, that's true.
right now, they don't want to be at par with big
we are
brother
bringing
Nigeria.
the and again, INEC moves to ask dormant political parties.
I think they should
They
fast
should
track that. I
actually
think
do that.
it's-
Yeah.
But from this legal perspective, is it really right for INEC to do that?
Yeah, but you know that INEC has guidelines about registration of all these parties, and also moving forward. I think if a party does not have a seat, at least a councillor or whatever,
Councillor,
it
anything,
doesn't have any business being a political party. They cannot win.
But hopefully they would win in the next coming
Next
election.
election
So
by-
if they actually ruled out, what happens to the people they want to bring into their party in the future?
But I
They
think
go from another
really,
party.
going by what happened at the last the last election generally, I think it doesn't really
Even the
make
collation
sense.
of the results were
Yeah.
it was too ambiguous because you have to at some point people were making jokes. I said INEC should just bring scratch cards for
For the other
other parties and just
then-
not PDP.
why-
and
And
I'm
just-
also,
saying this-
another issue of concern is that, like, what happened during the last election? You find out that days to the major election, you find people stepping down,
down,
or
and
they're
then
trying to say, I'm backing this major party. We saw a lot of them backing APC, some backing PDP.
PDP.
But then the ballot has been printed, and those things are there. People will now go and still vote for those people who are not actually in the race.
And
that's
that's
wasting
actually
the votes.
a lot of wasting of the taxpayers' money because at some point all those things have to be printed
Yes.
to the number of people and all that.
You know what? Where I'm worried is because after the 2011 election, INEC removed the names of some political parties, which included Fresh, and
But they found out they went to court.
they went to court and they say it was an aberration for INEC to actually do that. So I'm thinking that political parties, because what I'm hearing is yes, this decision has been on for a while, and most political parties have been coming together.
So
And they're going
happy.
to
Which
fight
makes
this
it
battle.
easier. Oh,
Yeah.
they are coming together
Get out
to
to the
fight the
yeah,
battle.
Yes,
That's under
that's-
IPAC.
No, not on that packet. They would be like, it's still their own court, not really IPAC as a whole.
Anyway,
Well,
thank you.
let's see how it goes.
Thank you so much, Victor, for joining us this morning and bringing all the dailies to us. Right now, we'll be going straight to Arts, Life and Style, where Uchechi is there with her fashion book to give us all the updates of what we need to do to remain fashionable. Stay with us.
Welcome to Fashion Book. I am Uchi.
No.
Chichi Lemoa. Today we are going to be looking at Celebrity Style Fi. Wow. Celebrity Style Fi once featured former Miss World Style Slave Queen, model, and a rare beauty, Abani Derego. This Slave Queen style made history when she became the first African to badge the Miss World crown in 2001. Since then, she has been a trailblazer and a mentor to aspiring models, beauty queens, and fashion entrepreneurs. Her style is simply amazing and stunning as she knows how to put the pieces together. Her effortless style has landed her in the list of best dressed women in Nigeria. She makes it obvious that sometimes less is more. Now find out why Amani Derego is really a celebrity style icon. Wow, she's really a style icon. What do you think? Is she really stylish? Yes, I think she is. Well, this is where I will be saying goodbye to you for now, and I leave you with this 10 top Nigerian women fashion.
Welcome back. Thank you, Uchechi Lemuwa. The way she always draws that her name is always fun. It goes in line with whatever she was talking about. Abadi Darego, beautiful woman, the most beautiful woman at one point. Is she still the most beautiful woman in the world?
Every woman is still the most beautiful wherever they are. I think.
Okay. And then it takes so much to remain beautiful. You know, she has moved ahead. She's still a supermodel.
Yeah.
After winning the world's coveted crown when it comes to beauty. She's a mother now. I think she married, she has a child, and still manages to look stunning.
And I can bet you a lot of work go into that.
I can't wait to have her on set to tell us what she goes through.
What she goes through to
all those
actually
beauty
maintain.
regimens, having to wake up early, don't eat this, don't eat. Women, I give it up to you people. What you do to look and remain beautiful. All right, this time we have to move over to the next segment, which is indeed a community report. Zuera Hamza took a look around some communities, and she found out that something to do about drainages, rainy season is here and all of that. A lot of drainages are blocked, and it doesn't flooding. We had issues with flooding some years back, with NIMET repeatedly warning about threats of flood, people losing their properties and all of that. But then
I think,
how
this drainage system, a lot of communities are not taking it
seriously, yes,
because it's very, very. It's just like almost some things, the situations we have in some areas of Lagos, where you find out houses are built on places that drainage, they should be drainage systems,
exactly.
And in turn, it actually harms us.
It harms us. It affects the ecosystem, the environment. There's some debris that carries on that these waters move along. It makes the whole place look uninhabitable for people, and I saw and all of that. But let's find out more from Zuera Hamza in her community report. Stay tuned.
It is raining season in Nigeria, and in order to avoid flood, it is important to have effective drainage system, as it will ensure free flow of water during and after heavy downpour. Drainage systems are constructed to ensure that wastewater and sewage is transported neatly to disposal point, thereby keeping the environment well drained and free of waste. Some good examples of drainage system are drainage pipes, closed ditches, having pipe drains, channels and condos. In many parts of Nigeria today, there is a great need for proper managed drainage system in order to help control surface water run over. However, the proper maintenance of road drainage structure is being ignored in many parts of our country. In recent times, houses are built without proper planning, buildings are constructed without proper drainage system, and residents do not help matters either. Dumping of refuse, dumping of waste in gutters on the street, to mention but just a few, has become the order of the day. This improper waste disposal clutches the gutters and prevents easy flow of water, causing the gutters to overflow. After a short period of rainfall, it is common to see flooded streets with litters floating everywhere. Such situation creates very unhygienic condition and contributes to environmental degradation. It is paramount that effective sustainable drainage system be put in place. Sustainable drainage system is a concept that includes long-term environmental and social approach to manage drainage. Sustainable drainage system prevent water pollution and flooding in the environment. Without doubt, poorly managed drainage system and poor waste management habits can negatively affect our health and environment. Hence, the need to ensure that we have proper drainage system around us, as the rainy season is here already. In conclusion, good drainage system improves the productivity of agricultural soil. Don't forget to keep your own house and its surrounding pure and clean. This hygiene will keep you healthy and benefit your worldly life. I'm Zoera Hamza, Television Nigerian.
Zuera Hamza for that lovely piece on environment, drainages. Lucy, if you go to these satellite towns in Abuja, you see what happens during the rainy season. Because of a lot of this issue about waste disposal. Once it rains, the drainage system that passes in front, it becomes a waste disposal dump. Everybody's coming out to dump their waste, and it's the water carries down, and at some point it gets stuck, and the whole place is an eyesore.
You know what people need to understand is it's not everything that the government has to do. Actually, the government can't throw your waste for you. You know, you can actually keep it, you know, in a safe and, you know, pack it well in such a way that even help this, you know, waste men that come every other day. Because packing all those debts, you know, when you throw them everywhere and then now they have to come pack it for you. And at the end of the day, we don't understand that these things end up harming us.
It does.
Because if the president is not living in this satellite town, the waste and the deaths and the diseases that come out from this, it's not going to harm him.
Yeah, but in a way, it does. Because when you have an epidemic, some airborne epidemic, maybe it's happening in satellite towns, the air can carry it way into Aso Rock or into any other ministerial quarters and all of that. So authorities have to be up and doing to ensure waste disposal is key. Put the real drainages in place. Especially when you come to the satellite towns, it's always deplorable situations. No drainage system, no planned neighborhoods, no people just build houses, no drainage. And then when rain falls, it carries anything to every. A good breeding ground for mosquitoes, for diseases, and for every imaginable disease condition you can think of. And it's not good for Nigeria. Remember, a healthy nation
is a wealthy nation. Thank you so much, our viewers at home. Thank you for joining us in this edition of Daybreak Africa. Do not forget, you can always leave your comments and follow us on all our social media handles. And do have a lovely week. I am Lucy Ora.
And from me, Charles, have a lovely day ahead. Remember, it pays to do good. Always do good. Be good to whoever you meet, because you never can tell where you will need that person's help. Have a lovely day, Nigeria. Have a lovely day, Africa. And we'll do this again tomorrow.